Hey everybody, I'm Zach and I like movies, and I want to talk about Highest to Lowest. This is the latest Spike Lee joint and his fifth collaboration with his boy Denzel Washington. Strangely, their first collaboration in like 20 years almost. Last time they worked together was way back in 2006 with Inside Man. Really underrated movie if you haven't checked it out. And this is also, as Spike says, a reinterpretation of the classic Akira Kurosawa movie High and Low, which I viewed not too long ago. And I mean, it's based on the same material, but like, who's kidding who here? Spike certainly isn't kidding anybody. And I want to say up front, I don't believe that a remake needs to live and die by standards of the quality of existing in the shadow of the quality of the original movie. At least not necessarily. I think, like, not every cover song can be, Nirvana singing David Bowie or Johnny Cash doing Hurt. They can just like sort of be their own thing, play at their own speed, and in terms of like working with the same material, how you cover it and what you choose to change and what you choose to keep certainly matter. And I think even if you're not like exceeding or even matching the original, I think you can still offer certainly an interesting and unique experience of its own. And I think that's pretty much the case with Highest to Lowest, because Kurosawa is the scaffolding of the movie in terms of like the plot structure, the general plot structure. But what Spike's doing in terms of like the use in terms of the setting, he's an NYU man. So he's a New York man. So obviously he's gonna like show a lot of love to his city. He is looking at things of ambition and sort of being an old man who has earned and fought to earn. He's sort of looking at the entitlement of the old versus the entitlement of the young. And I think the way he goes about it is certainly entertaining and certainly full of highs and lows. So if you don't know what the setup is, you have Denzel Washington as David, as a stacking hits record mogul. David Kane. He just walks in. Wake up, everybody! The Kane's here, and he is like liquidating his assets to like gain control back into his company stacking hits, and at that same point he has a son who was kidnapped, but there's been a mix-up. It turns out it wasn't his son who was kidnapped. It was the son of his chauffeur, who this time is played by Jeffrey Wright, and now he's being threatened by the kidnapper, who's a rapper played by A$AP Rocky, to pay him the immense ransom that would bankrupt him. So what does he do? And there's a chase sequence. There's thrills, and it's certainly only a kind of movie that Spike Lee could make. At least the way he does it. Because let's start with the highs. Denzel Washington, my God, this man. Like, I do not know how he does it. He is 70 years old and yet still works with the zeal of a 40-year-old man. And he's just so absolutely charismatic. He's absolutely in his ballpark, or just like oozing self-confidence, just like spreading everywhere. But also, I think here he can be kind of callous and even hard to like. Like so much of that first third is you really sitting with like the idea that he probably is just gonna let the other kid, his godson even, just die so that he can keep the money and keep his control. There's like scenes of him in his office, and he's like shadow boxing, and he's talking to himself, and he's talking to the pictures on the wall. It feels borderline, it feels like a bit of a secret honor pastiche, where he's just like he's ranted to himself and like, what is he like? What does he do? Like, what do I do? And it's because Denzel that he makes it so compelling, because like his energy just leaps off the screen, and and so I also think that Jeffrey Wright he does some really fine work here. He is one of the best working right now, and honestly, even like a smaller part here, he's able to just like really own and really just really brings so much like heart and warmth to the role. But honestly, the most unexpected performance here is A$AP Rocky as the kidnapper, as doing pretty much anything except make that new album. To be fair, I would do even less if I was married to Rihanna. But honestly, don't sleep on A$AP Rocky. He really brings it here. There is a scene late in the movie where Denzel confronts him in this recording studio, and it is electric. It is one of the best anythings that Spike has done of the last few years. It's just because they're just like Denzel is like literally is dropping bar. It's like dropping it's like doing a William Shakespeare as like a battle rap bar. And it's incredible, and like A$AP Rocky is meeting him for the moment, and they really play off each other incredibly well, and they do, and even then have like a follow-up one that sort of like as like the final confrontation between the two, and he's still matching him. It's just so, God, it's like this is what I was hoping for out of this. And also that train sequence where like Denzel has to get on the A train to like drop off the money is fantastic as well. Like there's so, and like what's great is that it's intercut with him on the train and him like needing to follow the instructions, and he's like surrounded by all these like Yankees fans who are going to the stadium because they're playing against Boston. Boston sucks, and and there's really cool like sort of format switches, because it'll swap occasionally from like a standard high def footage to like grainier 16 millimeter footage, and that stuff really works for me. I thought that was rad. And it's like intercut with a cut, not just with him on the train surrounded by the people, and with this Puerto Rican Day performance, and it's marvelous. The energy just like really sings like it. This again, like I said, this is what I was hoping for out of just doing high and low again. And it's, oh man, sometimes this movie is really singing. All that being said, the first third or so of this movie is kind of rough. Like for a decent stretch of it, I really thought Spike Lee had lost it. And I've read some reviews that have sort of suggested that like, oh, the first third is like bad on purpose as like a troll move. Like he's sort of like playing metatextually, where we're like, oh, you think I lost it? Well, I pull the rug out from under you. Psych, I always had it. Don't ever doubt me again, motherfucker. Go Knicks. I don't know really, because because it has this really weird disjointed melodrama feel. Like the editing in this like chunk of the movie is like really just kind of all over the place. Sometimes it will find a rhythm, and I will really be feeling it, but mostly in this first third, it just isn't. And it really sucks, because like this is when like you're really supposed to like this is like when like all the drama that follows really needs to matter, because like you're setting up the stakes of all the ransom money, of the police investigation, and will he or won't he pay the ransom money and all? Is it right for him to pay the ransom money? Yada yada yada, all that stuff. But it's mostly it feels like just so it never, like, the drama never really is able to land, mostly because this score is maybe the worst I have heard all year. It is atrocious. It's not just atrocious, it is so obnoxiously in the way of the scene. Like, it's not just like always there, it is so loud in the mix that it will like just, it is like constantly telling you what to feel at in the scene, and it's so just always there. It never stops, and even when there's like a really good scene with like where Denzel is talking to his son Trey. There's it'll be in this like really nice shot, and the two actors are performing great, and it's like a long still shot, but the music is just so it completely undercuts any of the drama, and it doesn't help that this sounds like it sounds like a score you would find in like a 90s Disney Channel original about a dad who has to he's working too hard. He has to spend more time with his family. Oh no, he missed the ball game that he promised to be at. Don't you feel sad? The piano music is telling me to feel bad for him. And oh my god. And even when it mostly drops in the second half, it only ever really works like one time in the lead up to the train sequence. But any other time with this score is just so annoying. And what's funny is that there is like other needle drops. Like the movie opens with this really nice montage of the New York skyline, and it's set to "What a Beautiful Day" from Oklahoma, and that's a really interesting choice. I was immediately reminded of Inside Man, and bold choices like that certainly color the rest of the movie. But man, and I also there's things that it brings up with with Denzel's character about whether or not he is a man who was earned and worked hard to earn for like 20 years or so, but decades and decades. But it's like there's photos of like his face on like Time and Newsweek and stuff, and it's just like photos of Denzel from the 90s and stuff. But it feels like it's sort of asking, like, is it like, am I right to throw this legacy that I built just let it all go to waste? I can't start over again. And especially with this angle of black excellence lens, it's a really interesting thing that I would really think Spike could really get into, but that sort of feels, but it never really feels like it really resolves in any way, or it feels like it kind of dropped, mostly because this lifestyle never really feels a threat. Like they talk about we need the money from you in 2 days. We're coming for your Basquiat's, but he never really feels like it's at risk. It never really feels like there is much at stake. It makes like what happens it makes a lot of like the back end of the movie feel kind of it feels less personal than it should be. Because the back end, it changes up the original from like a really great police procedural investigation into a more like personal revenge story, which that's interesting. I certainly like that. Spike does the switch up, because it's fucking NYPD. They suck. They're not gonna help. But yeah, it just doesn't land nearly as much as it should, and it feels it's frustrating. This movie it's frustrating, especially because there are just really strong moments. Like again, that scene in the recording studio with Denzel and ASAP. I am still thinking about that movie. That scene is one of my favorites of the year. It's marvelous, but like it's just frustrating. I really wanted to like this. I really wanted to love this, but I think I do like it more. I think the highs kind of salvage the lows. The lows are frustrating, but I think the strengths that it has kind of do salvage it for me. I think there's certainly enough personality. There's enough interest. There's enough interesting things going on that I think it would. I would recommend checking it out, if only for like if only for the good stuff. And I think that's it. There's yeah, it's a messy movie. It's kind of a disappointing movie, but it's entertaining still. And you know, Spike Lee's many things, he is not boring. And yeah, I think that'll be it. Does it? No, obviously doesn't hold a candle to the original High and Low, but I think you might enjoy it either way. Again, like I said at the start, like I said at the start, it could just be its own. It could just be its own thing. Whether or not you like the thing that it is, it's really up to you. And I think for me, I'm feeling like a strong 5 to a light 6. Yeah. A lot of mixed feelings, but maybe I was aiming a bit too high. But yeah, that'll be it for me. I'm Zach. I like movies. What did you think of highest to lowest? I got a lot more movies to watch, and I hope you watch movies too, because movies are life, and life is worth living. And I will see you all next time. You take care of yourselves.